The Supreme Court is about to decide if your internet access can be taken away from you because of an accusation. It's a pretty landmark case that not really many people are talking about, which is Cox Communications versus Sony Music. And while I can acknowledge that it's a complex case, what's essentially happening is Sony is saying that Cox Communications allowed too many of its subscribers to download pirated material, and that the remedy for this, because Cox did not do enough, was to basically terminate the use of the internet for those customers. I have a difficult time of overstating how much of an overreach that is and how damaging that could be, because we're not talking about someone who was convicted of a crime or found guilty by a court. We're talking about someone that has been accused of something by a private company losing access to the internet. And of course, the internet is the backbone of so much of our modern life. And it's easy for you to say, oh, well, if you lose internet access from one place, go somewhere else. That's not an option for a lot of people. And even if, say, this case were to go forward and the Supreme Court were to say yes, because of accusations of copyright infringement from a private company, another company must terminate the internet access of the end user. In this case, we're not just talking about one person, we're talking about an IP address. So, in theory, that would be the entire house. So, if someone in your house gets accused of downloading a song illegally, the whole house loses internet? This is absurd. And it's why Sony has actually not won this case, and then why it's working its way up to the Supreme Court. But the consequence of this could be massive, including things like political retaliation. Or, of course, an unfair abuse of this system to restrict people's literal access to communication, quieting voices of dissent. I find it hard to believe that the Supreme Court will side with Sony in this instance, but yes, obviously, people who commit repeat copyright issues need to find some type of accountability. But this path of dealing with this, someone said it's sort of like getting a traffic ticket and being barred from using the public roads. It's actually like McDonald's saying that you stole a hamburger, and so because you stole a hamburger, you can't use the roads to get to any place that sells hamburger. The Supreme Court is about to hear a case that could rewrite access to the internet. Here's hoping they side with consumers and not massive corporations.